The fans are saying it all.
Of course, the Amazing Red, as you alluded to, in action later on tonight, making his prestige debut against the Blackheart Lio Rush. But you're absolutely right. The innovation, the ingenuity of these two men in regards to tag team wrestling and independent wrestling.
These fans get it.
It is second to none. The bell sounds and we are underway. Brian, it is not the first time that the Guns have done battle, but it may very well be the last.
And what a night to host a match such as this. Look at this. The respect from the crowd has been amazing.
In their previous encounters, Chris Sabin has picked up victories 5 times, Alex Shelley twice, and one ended in a draw. So despite Alex Shelley's popularity and reverence as Prestige Wrestling, a former Prestige Wrestling world champion, I should say, Chris Sabin has the Duke. He has the up and up. Not only that, he won the TNA Wrestling World Championship years before Alex Shelley. He reached the top of that mountain years before Alex Shelley. So you have to wonder, despite the mutual respect between these two men, does Sabin maybe have a bit of a mental one-upsmanship here?
You know, these two are the best of friends. They're as thick as thieves, they're like brothers, but at the end of the day, everyone in wrestling is an individual, is an alpha, and is ultimately looking out for themselves. So I agree with you, Jordan. I think there might be a tinge of maybe some jealousy, professional jealousy there on the part of Shelley.
Especially considering the importance of this matchup, right? This is not just a simple exhibition of Shelley with firm control of the leg, proving just that.
Nothing wrong with having an ego in wrestling, by the way. It can really drive people.
You, an ego? Never.
Hey, I didn't say it.
It was after Shelley's victory over Jaden the Unbelievable at a Live 3. He didn't mince words. He was very clear. I'm not going to BS you. I'm not going to be around much longer, but William was kind enough to give me something on my way out, and that's a singles match against Chris Sabin. That's the last match I have in Prestige. It's going to be an honor to do it in front of all of you. This is something that both of these men wanted, and again, Brian, I cannot overstate it. How lucky are we to get it? It's our second match of the night.
I mean, this is the second match, and we got a whole lot more to come. It's truly an auspicious evening for Prestige Wrestling. Don't forget to use that hashtag. Twitter's blowing up about this Combat Clash PDX. I'm sorry, X. I'm an old man, Jordan.
Really jockeying for position here, the proverbial feeling out process. Let me ask you, Brian, how difficult is it to gain the upper hand, especially in the early going, against someone who knows you just as well, if not better than yourself, as we're seeing here?
Here we go. Damn near looking in a mirror between Shelley and Sabin. I mean, no one knows the other more. I'm going to put it to you that way.
You see some frustration on the part of Sabin and Shelley. I mean, these two, they had to see this coming. To be one of the greatest tag teams of all time, you have to share the same brain practically. And again, Brian, I'm not one to speculate. I'm not omnipotent. I'm not a pundit. I'm not a journalist in that sense of the word, right? But there is a changing of the guard in store for the Motor City Machine Guns, whatever or wherever that means. And heading into that next chapter, this is so important personally and professionally for both of these men. As Sabin gets the shoulders of Shelley down, crucifix, but only a 2.
I mean, these two really ushered in an entire generation of wrestlers, wrestling fans. Everyone respects these two and the accomplishments and the milestones they have achieved. And tonight, you know, it's not the first time, not once in a lifetime, but it's rare to see these two go one-on-one.
And I cannot overstate this enough. May very well be the last time we ever see it. 18 years as a tag team in and out of the ring. I mean, Brian, for crying out loud, these men are in a band together. Doesn't get much closer than that.
Well, I'll tell you what, this could potentially ruin the tour.
Once again, locking up here.
The World Tour, Jordan.
Shelley takes Sabin down to the canvas, keeping control of the arm. Once again, shoulders down. No, transitioning perhaps into the Border City stretch, but gets Sabin's shoulders down. Interestingly, Brian, looking to steal it here. Looking to finish it quick, trying to eke out a victory instead of making Sabin tap or getting a more decisive cover.
You know, sometimes it's one of those early ones that get you. A wrestler can fall into a false sense of confidence and think that, oh, they're not going to get me in the early going, and next thing you know, you're down with a headlock takeover.
Do you think that's what we're seeing here with Alex Shelley or Chris Sabin? Do you think because of Alex Shelley's success here as a former 2-time Prestige Wrestling World Champion, because of Sabin's historical success in their previous meetings, do you think either of these men are going to have pride come before the fall, as it were?
I don't know. I think both of these men are tenured enough and secure enough in their careers that hopefully we're not going to see any implosion tonight, but I wouldn't put it past them.
A very respectful gesture from Shelley here. Again, back to the center of the ring. Back to the Greco-Roman knuckle lock here. It's Alex Shelley with a straight jacket of sorts, choking Sabin with his own arms.
Right, when you eliminate the arms from the equation, it really can compromise a lot of your offense, and especially if you're going to use that to cut your own wind off.
But Sabin saying, anything you can do, I can do better, giving Shelley a taste of his own proverbial medicine. And it's Shelley escaping, making it look so easy, making it look so clean, making it look so smooth as he does so. One of the best in the world, technically speaking, is Alex Shelley.
We are watching a clinic here, and speaking of wrestling clinics, I cannot wait for Roderick Strong, Timothy
Hold
Thatcher.
on, Sabin has the shoulders of Shelley down.
Getting ahead of myself here.
Perhaps it's Alex Shelley getting ahead of himself here. Once again, Sabin looking for the cover, floats over, but barely a one.
Here we go, going for that ankle is Shelley here.
Perhaps trying to steal it, perhaps trying to eke out a victory, as I said, is the only way. These men know each other so well that you're not going to hit a signature or a finishing maneuver, because frankly, your opponent knows it's coming. They're going to see it from a mile away.
And here's another question for you, Jordan. Suppose one of them is in a position to really hit that kill shot. Do you think either of these men really have the killer instinct to put the other away like that?
Again, it's professional respect, it's professional courtesy. I spoke to it during Alex Shelley's Prestige Wrestling World Championship defense against Jonathan Gresham in Asbury Park, New Jersey. Another longtime friend and confidant of Shelley. Maybe not at the same level as Sabin, but still, sometimes you hit your friends even harder as a sign of respect because you know they could take it. Perhaps that's what we'll see. Sabin staying on top of Shelley. Maybe look, no, I thought he was maybe going for the Border City stretch. Shelley's own finishing hold. Shades of Amira, Kylie Ray in our opening contest, but it's Shelley getting the foot on the bottom rope, forcing the break.
That's good ring awareness. That's what 2+ decades of in-ring experience gets you.
And we talk about the respect between these two men. Interestingly, Sabin taking every second allotted to him by referee Devin Campbell, not breaking the hold until he absolutely had to.
Oh, look at this. Going to the abdominal stretch again.
Really wrenching at the ribs in the midsection of Shelley here. Snapmare takes him down. Now going back to the legs, maybe they can figure four.
Well, that's quite the inventive way to get to it. I don't think I've ever seen that hold before.
These men always innovating, always creating, always pushing the boundaries of professional wrestling, even 2 decades later.
Look at this, he's stomping on that arm and trying to bend it. Look how he's bending it. Look at that left hip and the way it's being just bent across. Boy, that is painful.
A gnarly maneuver cinched in from Chris Sabin. You can see Alex Shelley reaching for the rope, trying to wiggle some feeling back into his finger, do everything he can to avoid tapping out. And again, Sabin realized that maybe his grip was slipping, maybe Shelley was escaping, immediately transitions from one hold to the next.
And look at that, Shelley's is face down in the canvas. I mean, that is, first of all, that's pretty embarrassing, but you gotta try and fight your way out of that. And when you're down like that, the weight of your opponent on you, tough to breathe, tough to think.
It's Alex Shelley getting back up to a vertical base here. Using that power, perhaps feeding off of the Prestige faithful. He's made no bones about it. He considers Prestige a second home. He says he never would have won the TNA World Championship without winning the Prestige Wrestling World Championship first, and using that love as an adopted son of the Pacific Northwest to rally here against brother Chris Sabin.
Portland loves them some Alex Shelley, and they are showing up in a big way for the Motor City Machine Guns. I mean, this crowd, it's split.
Might have to call them the Rose City Machine Guns after tonight, given this reception. My goodness. Alex Shelley, you can see, feeling the effects of that flurry of submission offense from Chris Sabin. That's the thing about a submission hold, especially from an expert, a tactician like Chris Sabin. It doesn't go away as soon as the hold is released. The lingering effects are felt minutes, hours, sometimes days later.
You said it, and right now it's Shelley's turn to try and turn Sabin into a pretzel.
Turnabout is fair play here. Shelley, we often speak to it, a physical therapist for several years, meaning he knows every way the body needs to be bent to feel better. He also knows every way the body needs to be bent to feel a lot worse. Shoulders down off the backslide, but only a 2.
That's professional development for you, Jordan. Here we go. Texas Cloverleaf, perhaps?
He's
Get him
got
up.
the legs of Sabin clasped. Has to sit through. No!
Oh, look at this. Oh, knee in the back.
Really wrenching the knee, one of the hardest parts of the body, into the shoulder of Chris Sabin.
Shoulder and the lower ribs. That is not comfortable.
That's the thing about Alex Shelley. As a physical therapist, as a wrestler of 2 decades, he knows how to maximize that punishment. He's not going to hit one body part or 2 body parts. He's going to hit multiple in one fell swoop.
Look at this. He's tangled up the legs. Oh, man. Tit for tat, like you said, Jordan. Very similar to what Sabin had Alex in earlier.
Bending the arms in ways they are simply not supposed to go. Applying the entire weight of his upper body onto the left shoulder of Sabin. This is not where you want to be if you're Sabin here, Zane.
Absolutely not. And this could be it right here.
Shoulders down, no.
These 2 men are incredibly crafty, incredibly tough. Even if they didn't know each other's moves at the back of their hand, I think this would be a tough one to call, tough one to pick.
It's no secret that it has been an up and down year for Alex Shelley, losing the Prestige Wrestling World Championship to Alan Angels, losing to Timothy Thatcher last time we saw him in Prestige, and Alive or Just Breathing, and Chris Sabin looking to make it 3 for 3 here. Look at this, Brian Zane, center of the ring.
Oh, can he get that arm hooked down over the chin?
What a clutch here. He's got the legs, the body scissors cinched in on the abdomen.
Oh.
But it's Alex Shelley reversing the pressure here.
Clever, clever.
Sabin's clever nature may have been his undoing. Got a little too fancy, got a little too fun with it, and now Alex Shelley reversing. We're going surfing in Portland, Brian Zane.
Oh my goodness. There's no waves in the Willamette River. Oh, look at that.
Anything you can do, I can do better. These men know each other like the back of their hands. And speaking of the back of the hands, Chris Sabin clasping the hands of Shelley, now reversing into a pin. Shelley kicks out.
You know, we talk about the greatness of Sabin, but we've also talked about Alex Shelley being that kind of adopted Portlander here. Prestige is more Shelley's organization than it is Sabin's.
It's a home base for Alex Shelley, absolutely.
So imagine, the embarrassment that could happen if Sabin is the winner tonight.
But is there an added pressure for Alex Shelley that maybe Chris Sabin doesn't feel? We've seen him several times here in Prestige. A standout performance against Speedball Mike Bailey, several tag team wins alongside Alex Shelley. But maybe that same pressure or lack thereof is what's keeping him here.
Oh.
STF cinched in.
Did he tap? I thought he tapped there for a second.
No, so close here. But Alex Shelley able to survive, able to stay in this if only for the moment. He's crawling, he's reaching for the ropes, but he is a country away.
Sabin, look at the grip on his own wrist there. But there's some wiggle room. Shelley's trying to fight out of it.
I don't know if Shelley will tap. I don't know if his ego will let him do it, but he reaches the bottom rope. I was going to say, Zane, I think we were seconds away from seeing Alex Shelley pass out.
I'll tell you what, these fans here in Portland, they are loving everything they see here.
Sabin staying on top of Shelley, maybe thinking cradle shock, has the fireman's carry, but Shelley escapes thinking shell shock. No, Sabin rolls him up.
Wait a minute, whoa.
No, so close, so close.
Look at that.
And Shelley reversing the submission once again. The body scissors applied, this time to the shoulders, the upper back of Chris Sabin.
Don't forget that neck crank.
He's got the neck grapevine here. But Chris Sabin onto his knees. Maybe trying to steal a quick one here, trying to keep Shelley's shoulders down, use his own weight, his own momentum against him.
They're so close to being down, Jordan. Look, Texas Cloverleaf of his own. Look at that.
just bending at the back of Shelley. He's even farther away from the bottom rope than the last time we saw him in this predicament.
Almost saw a bit of worry there in Sabin's eyes if I didn't know any better. The
STF once again, but this time Shelley changes course, gets the bottom rope on the other side of the ring. Such ring awareness from the expert Shelley.
But I like that Sabin doesn't waste time, he doesn't waste motion. When one hold starts to slip, he goes right into the next one.
Shades of Zack Sabre Jr., who we saw in an instant classic against Daniel Makabe at Roseland 8. Again, looking for the cradle shock, but Shelley reverses into a sleeper.
Time-honored sleeper. Here we go, now into the armbar.
No, Border City Stretch, the same move.
He's got him.
That won him many a Prestige Wrestling World Championship match. Could win him, perhaps his last in Prestige.
Going for it, oh, almost rolled through it, did Sabin, but look at that.
But at this time, it's Shelley rolling through, back to the center. Nowhere for Sabin to go.
Wait a
but
minute.
Sabin, shoulders down.
Whoa.
No! My God, that was close, Brian Sane. Shell-shocked.
I think you could have fit a sheet of paper under Devin Campbell's hand and not much
Cradle
else.
shock reversed into a sunset flip, and Sabin with a jackknife. No,
Wait.
Shelley.
What was chaos?
Sabin steals it! Sabin steals it! Sabin steals it!